I'm Christian Lamichka, and today I present you Nathan Stanley. Nathan, welcome.
Thank you so much. Good to be here with you.
Nathan, could you please introduce yourself to the country music fans in Europe who might be hearing about you for the first time?
Yeah, of course. Started playing when I was 2 years old with my grandfather, bluegrass legend Ralph Stanley, who's now celebrating his 65th year in the music business. And I started out playing the spoons, then went on to playing the mandolin. Tried the five-string banjo, didn't succeed on it. Then went to guitar, and now I'm singing lead with his band, Quincy Mountain Boys, and playing rhythm guitar. And during those years, the early years, I recorded several bluegrass gospel projects with him and with and the band, and so done real good. But now we travel all around the world. I'm his lead singer and rhythm guitar player for his band.
You have a new album outside, My Kind of Country. So what inspired you to the title of the album?
Well, I love traditional country music, the way it sounded about 30 and 40 years ago. I call it real country music, and I wanted to go back and just kind of do an album that introduces me into the country music industry. And I figured I would do an album of songs people would recognize and some of my old favorites, songs like I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry and Folsom Prison Blues and Don't Let Me Cross Over Love's Cheating Line. And when I was putting this album together, I wanted to do duets with some of my friends in the music industry and favorite artists. So we got 21 tracks on this album and 19 duets with, of course, my papa, Dr. Ralph Stanley, Vince Gill, Marty Stewart, John Anderson, Rhonda Vincent, several. We got 21 songs and 19 duets.
That's the who of who in country music.
It's a who of who, and I'm real honored to have it on there.
I have to ask this. Is it a struggle or is it helpful to have this last name?
It's helpful. God has really blessed me with that last name because, of course, my papa was so respected in the music industry, and that helps a lot.
Well, if you see, when you're talking about your dad, about your grandpa, and about your family, there's a different in the generation. So what differentiates you to your family who playing in the music business?
The styles of music, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, my papa, of course, is the old-time mountain style of what he said they call bluegrass music. And I'm still traditional, but I got the traditional country/bluegrass feel to it. So I kind of put my own thing to it, but it's still traditional and down-to-earth music.
You're inspired by Elvis, I know.
I am. Elvis was just a great vocalist, and I love the way he would phrase and sing, and I would get the old videos out and watch his stage presence, and I was really admired him for that. And me I'm only 18 years old, but still going back and getting those old videos and just seeing how he entertained a crowd in the audience, that really struck me.
Let's come back to the CD. How did you got all these people together to do duets with you?
Well, I knew most of them. Of course, it took during this making of this project probably around 2 years. And, of course, with my time and getting the album, the songs cut, and getting the other artists to have time to come in off their busy schedule and lay their vocals down. So right at 2 years. But most of them I knew, and and they was glad to do it. And so, from like Gene Watson and now some, we just called and see if they would do it, and they said yes, and I made some new friends by putting this album together.
So, when we see that you're in the music business now too, like your family, do you have kids? You might want to be in the music business then too?
I don't have kids now, but hopefully in the future I might have a little boy carry on my name and try to just kind of history repeating itself,
Well, let's talk about some different things to show up more personality, who you are. What do you do in your spare time?
Spare time, I'm always, believe it or not, I'm listening to new songs and just get out all my old records. I'm a fan of traditional country and traditional bluegrass, from, of course, my papa to Larry Sparks to Connie Smith, Dolly Parton, George Jones, Lord Jimmy Dickens. But I'm always just I'm always thinking of what I can do next,
Okay.
and what I can do. I really, in the last few months, I don't take any time off. I'm always thinking of what I can do next, and something that is new that I'm doing. I have my own record label that's getting started up, called Stanley Generation Records, and we got several projects that are going to be released on this. One to mention is I'm producing a tribute record to my grandfather, Ralph Stanley, and getting a lot of artists to come in and sing his songs, from George Jones, Elvis Costello, Naomi Judd, just to come in and pay tribute to as an artist as he is, an icon, and been in the music 65 years. So a lot of things going on. Just I'm always thinking and always looking for new things to do.
Well, as I know, you started with 2 years as a drummer for your dad, or
Playing the spoons.
Yeah.
You're supposed to eat with spoons, but I played with them, so. But, and the crowd liked that. And, of course, my papa tells me that when I first got the spoons in my hands, I was performing right in time and didn't miss a beat, and, with the band. And so that was my starting point. And then, like I said, went to the mandolin, so.
any good road stories?
Any good road stories? Well, the band sometimes gets ornery, and I think I get it from my papa. We go in a restaurant and somebody will order something to drink, and they'll lay the table and we'll put salt in it. So I think I got it from him, but it's fun, and of course that was to get him a new one. That's pretty much.
Many music fans today get their information via the internet. Do you have your own website?
I do. It's NathanStanleyEntertainment.com, and you can go on there. You can see tour dates, my biography, pictures, and a music video that I just have completed of Folsom Prison Blues. So you can go on my website. It's NathanStanleyEntertainment.com. You can hear my previous projects as well as my new project, and you can also order them.
So thanks for the time, for having us.
Well, thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure. My pleasure.